Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ogonna if you're new, and if this is your first time, please do well to subscribe and join the family. We'll be happy to have you. So as you've already seen the title, it's about situations or times when you should be silent, like when should you keep quiet. It's just that generally people are encouraged to say their mind, to talk, to make plans, but there are actually times when it is more beneficial to shut up than to actually talk. The first thing on my list is when you're angry and not in control of your emotions. Now, when people are angry, there's a tendency to you're saying things you're not properly thinking about them. You're saying things you're not properly thinking about the consequences. You're just talking because you're feeling really upset. So it's more or less like an outburst. You're not really thinking about what you're saying. You're just talking from the overflow of emotions that you're going through. One of the reasons why you need to keep quiet when you're angry is because at the end of the day, you may end up saying things that you don't mean. You may say things that are probably exaggerated, probably not true, probably just being said because they're going to be hurtful. Or on a general note, do not speak when you are angry or when your emotions are not in control. You will regret it. So yeah, take out time to process your emotions, take out time to process the way you're feeling. Make sure that your thoughts and words are coordinated. Make sure that you're saying what you actually want to be saying before you speak. So yes, do not speak when you're angry. Not a good idea. The next thing on my list is be silent when you don't have the full information. Times when you have an idea of something, but you don't have a holistic view of it, but you're trying to teach people, or you're trying to convince people, or you're trying to educate people when you don't even have the full information. The truth is that you might end up lying or just saying random things just because you're trying to make a point, but that shouldn't be the case. If you don't have all the facts, go and do your research, go and ask questions, go and find out what you need to find out before then going on to actually talk about these things, because you don't want to end up misleading people. You don't want to be the person who misdirected someone. So if you're not sure, if you don't have all the information, if you were not there, if you do not trust the information of the person who was there, if it's something that you're not fully informed about, maybe because it's not your specialty, it's not your profession, or whatever the case might be, just keep quiet. You really don't need to be saying anything about it because you're not sure. If you're sure, you can talk about it, but if you're not sure, just be quiet. It's better for everyone. The third thing on my list is your finance. It's okay to maybe have certain conversations with people that you're close to, people that you trust, because you're trying to maybe rub minds or try to get more information with respect to different things. But aside that, I don't see any reason why the whole world should know what you're earning, or the whole world should know what is in your pocket, or the whole world should know what you're being paid for whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's your job, whether it's for a service that you rendered, whatever it is. Everybody should not be entitled to that information. That's it. So keep it to yourself. If the person is not a close friend, if the person is not someone that you trust, if the person is not a financial advisor, it's like, what exactly are you talking about? What exactly are you really saying to them? So if they're not going to contribute to you growing your finances, if they're not going to assist with advising you, if they're not close people who you think that need that information for whatever reason it might be, I mean, I get it. If maybe you're in a friendship group where you guys talk about these things because you're trying to grow and improve yourself, or because you're trying to, gauge the opportunities and investments that you guys are willing to get into, that's fantastic. Or if you're talking to a financial advisor, someone who's going to assist you. But if it's not your friendship group, if it's not maybe someone that you're in a relationship with, maybe because you guys are trying to discuss certain things, I mean, finances are important to discuss in those sorts of circumstances, but it's neither of those circumstances, then there's nothing to talk about really. I know that sometimes people can come on the internet to talk about individual circumstances. Say for instance, someone can come on and say, oh, this was my first YouTube paycheck, or this is the first amount that I got from doing this. Maybe because they're trying to teach other people about it, or just try to enlighten people with respect to that particular thing. That's fine. But exact figures, day to day, month to month, it's unnecessary. It's personal information, to be honest. You shouldn't just be sharing that with just anybody. The next circumstance that you want to be silent in is when someone is intentionally trying to trigger you. There are people who you can just tell from some of the things that they are saying that they're just trying to get you to say something, or they're just trying to upset you, or they're just trying to put you in an annoying mood. There are people like that. There are people who that's what they do for fun. There are people who just go about trying to trigger people, or just trying to do annoying things to just get people's reactions. When you know that that's what someone is trying to do and you allow yourself get into that sort of situation, you've literally set yourself up. Like literally you set yourself up, because the case of this is exactly what this person is looking for and you've now given it to them. Like the best thing to do in that situation is to be quiet. Be quiet. They're going to get tired of it. They're going to stop. They're going to feel foolish. They're going to stop. But you really don't want to give people who are just trying to trigger you the satisfaction that they've gotten the reaction that they were expecting to get from you. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your emotions. So in situations like that, when it is clear that someone is just intentionally being annoying or just intentionally trying to do things to trigger you, be quiet, like be silent, ignore them literally. That's the best solution. The final situation on my list where you should be quiet is when you're talking about plans that you have, especially when they're still in the early stages. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't discuss things with people, because you may have close people around you. The truth is that when I'm talking about these things, some of them, but especially this one and maybe the one I spoke about that had to do with your finances, of course, there are certain situations and certain conversations you can have with people that you're close to or people who can give you professional advice. But if you're not close to people, or you don't trust them, or they don't necessarily have the capacity to help you or assist you in that situation, there's really no point just talking about things just for talking's sake. So this has happened to me a couple of times, and I'm sure that a lot of people can relate. You have plans, they're still in the early stage, and then you've already discussed it with so many people. You talking about it with people has sort of like given you some level of satisfaction, so you're not necessarily propelled to do that thing anymore. It's like it reduces your enthusiasm to now go on to actually execute it. So something like that. So yeah, that happens a lot. So my advice is, if you're not planning something with someone, if you're not trying to get advice with respect to that thing from someone, then there's no reason talking about it. If it's people that you're close to, if it's people that you're in a relationship with, or if it's people that you're close friends with, or people that you trust, it's okay to talk about them. But then again, if something is still in the very early stages, maybe you're still just thinking about it, you haven't really decided if you want to do it or not, you haven't necessarily made any concrete plans, it's like, just be quiet and actually just work on the plan first. Like that's really the best place to start. Like just be quiet, be calm, think it through, make a plan, and then you can then begin to discuss with people with regards to how to execute and things like that. Maybe people who have more experience, or just people who care about you, they may be able to assist in some way. So yeah, aside that, be quiet about your plans, especially when they're still in the early stages. The truth is, generally talking can be a very inviting thing to do, especially when you're an outgoing person. You're very quick to want to say things, you're very quick to want to talk about things, but sometimes just keep quiet. Really, just keep quiet. Listen to other people. You know that thing that people say, like that's the reason why we have 2 ears and one mouth. It's like you're supposed to listen more and talk less. That's really how it should be. A lot of the times as human beings, we're very quick to want to say what we know, or to say what we think, or to be the ones with the first information with respect to something. But I promise you, it's fine if you're not the first to bring up the information. I promise you, it's fine if you don't talk about that thing. You'll be alright, really. And there are also circumstances where we feel like people are saying things that are not necessarily the case. So maybe we're trying to defend ourselves or clear the air with respect to certain things. Sometimes defending yourself is not necessary. Things will play out and the circumstances of things will be obvious. Sometimes you, in the process of trying to defend yourself, you might end up saying the things that you're not supposed to be saying. Or in the process of defending yourself, you can get really triggered that you now then say things that you don't mean, or say things that can lead to the literal wreck of that relationship. So sometimes it's not necessary to defend yourself. Just let things be as they are. Sometimes explanations are not necessary. Just things will play out by themselves. So sometimes you just have to be patient and trust the process. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Do well to like, share, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Liking the video and dropping your comments really helps my video do better with respect to numbers. So please do well to do that. I'll be really grateful. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.